Welcome, 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 everybody. Hey, thank you everyone for joining us at our panel. Almost
Adjust your mic, Dabs.
up. All right, good.
There we go.
Check, mic check.
There we go.
See, we didn't have that 3-minute video or the 3-minute intro from
Yeah.
Friday night show. They'd be able to check
Yeah.
mics. So, thanks for everyone joining us. Alban, how you doing today?
All right. Still in YouTube jail, but I'm okay.
Oh, it's still. You know what? Maybe that'll teach you how to act right.
I tell me about it. Either that or be on YouTube and not be black.
No, driving while black is YouTube while black.
Yeah, YouTube while black.
Yeah. So, hey, Andrew, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm white. So,
got it going on. All right. And thanks for everyone joining us. Blue will not be with us today. So it's going to be us three and then grabbing people in the panel. So, this should run pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. And DeBeach wrote in here is if you couldn't figure that one, I'm tossing you all in the short bus. Yeah, because he actually even put the name of who the characters were. Yeah. So yeah, awesome. Yep. Thank you, DeBeach, for this for creating our intros for this show as well as Fridays, just to have fun. We got that one. Yeah, you didn't mind being Bane.
No, pretty cool. As long as Tom Hardy's Bane.
Dude, it's not bad, Bane. Yeah, she's still hungover from Jerry Curls. No, she had family in all this weekend, so they just left, and so she wasn't able to watch a movie. And it's a crazy day at work, so she is just vegetating and relaxing. So it'll be just us. It's just guys. It's a sausage party.
Hey, wait. Hey, we got Sharon out there.
Yeah, Shrink and Sharon will be in here. Yeah, she'll be in here. Mm-hmm. So thanks for you guys joining us. If you've never watched our show before, we review a movie, and it is one movie that was picked by the panel last week, or not by the panel, by the viewers and the people in our Telegram group. So if you don't like the movie that we had to watch this week, you should have voted, because it's whatever is picked, and be it if we wanted to watch it or not wanted to watch it, we're forced to watch it, kind of like Jerry Curls last week. But so this week is Protege. So thanks to everyone looking. I see Daldum has jumped in the chat. Nice to see you, Daldum. Sharon, of course, is in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Raja, what's it, Elias? Thank you for joining us. DeBeach, of course. I mentioned him. Soheil, as always, jumping in and showing us. Jim. Eddie. Yep, Eddie's over in there. So Eddie will be jumping in with us later today. Miss Gloria White. What's up, my dear? Thank you for joining and hanging out with us. So we should have a good time. I think at least this movie is better than last week's movie. You got to be able to say that.
Yeah, I guess you gotta.
I can say that's a pretty fair bet. It's better than it was last week. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to take a look and share my screen, and let's talk about what movies that we have to vote on for next week's show. We have next week's show that we have to vote on. So before the end of the show, please vote on which one of these particular movies you would like us to review. And that means you have to watch it too, not just us. You should watch it so that you can chime in as we're talking about the movies. We need you to chime in or come on the panel. As you'll see in a little bit, some of the extra people on the panel. One of the movies in there is Blood Brothers, Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali, based on true story of the relationship of Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali and the things that were going on in the 60s, what was going on with Malcolm X and how they became friends, and how, from watching the trailer, how they kind of ended up kind of parting ways a little bit and kind of creating a little bit of a rift between the two of them, because they were both different focuses and different directions. So I think that this is again, it's talking to all, it's news footage, it's reels, it's talking to relatives. It's not a movie. It's actually a documentary. Yeah. So keep that in mind. So that is Blood Brothers. We have Kate, which is another action film, which it's a girl that looks from this is again. I've only watched the trailers of these, so I'm giving you what the trailer. I have not watched them. She was and it looked like an assassin, but somehow she's been poisoned, and so she has a certain number of hours to solve whoever poisoned her. Huh?
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
And this, what was that one where remember what was the one where he only had like 24 hours? And
Jason
he was going to blow. Yeah, Jason Statham. He was going to die or blow up and whatever. Kind of remind.
It's not the
trailer.
first time they've done a movie like that, you know.
So yeah, so she's been poisoned and something's going to happen to her in 15 hours. So. What's it? Malignant.
Malignant.
Malignant. Thank you.
No, yeah.
No, is it malignant? Is that how you say it? All right. Yeah. So basically, a scare flick, horror movie. Yeah, looked.
Yeah.
Although they said it was just crime, you know, but
I don't know. I watched the trailer.
It was more horror than it was more horror. Well, you know what? No, you know what? It was more of a thriller than crime. Yeah. But I wouldn't say
this one. Yeah. I watched the trailer for this one, and like at the beginning of it, I was thinking this seems quite interesting because like she's having a flash, she's seeing people get killed, and it's like that was an interesting part of it. But then it kind of switched to like a generic, like it seemed like generic horror style stuff, and I was like, oh, I've seen this before. It seems a bit boring. Yeah, I kind of lost us at the end of the trailer there.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I watched the trailer, and it reminded me a little bit of Nightmare on Elm Street with the dreams and the what's reality and what's not reality, and so that's a scary flick. So, so that's one of the options. Another option here is My Son, which was very interesting when I read through and I watched the trailer on this. The leading actor, was it James Mcavoy?
James McAvoy, yeah.
James McAvoy was not given the script for this. He actually, I don't know if they gave him a rough idea of his character, and he is not given the script as he's going through this movie. So I thought that was quite interesting twist on doing a movie.
That's what hooked me because it kind of came across as though he got given bits of information at a time just as they were going to shoot the scenes. So it's a really good way, I think, of seeing how good an actor is by giving them like they're being surprised as you're being surprised.
Yeah, and I mean basically his son gets taken or missing, and it's basically a search. And again, I've not watched the movie; I just watched the trailer. So you have
I watched it, but I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to keep my mouth shut. All the movies, you know, since I don't want to put my take in on it. But
I know, I know.
There were some pretty good movies this week. But a
lot of good picks. Skater Girl, which I thought this had been on the list before.
It wasn't on our watch list, but it was it was one that I was hoping that I'd finally get up there, and I said, you know what, it's been too long that you know we've had the movie sitting there waiting to go up, and I said, listen, let me just throw it in. It was another feel good movie that you know if you get a chance and it doesn't get voted on, you should still watch it.
Yeah, it looks if you watch the trailer of it, it's basically from the trailer of a bunch of youth in India and a girl. Basically, it seems like it's spaced around her more than anybody else, but the other kids too. And they are creating their own skateboards off of wood in these like little wheels. And there's a girl that comes into town, she looks like a what do I? Not a caretaker, but like a humanitarian.
Yeah,
looks like it seemed like on the trailer.
Humanitarian.
And she gets she ends up getting all the kids in town skateboards, and then it builds a skate park, and has to do with girls being able to given power to dream and to do things outside of what the normal is. So.
And it was a true story, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. It looked like it. I mean, it seemed like it, but Skater Girl. Again, you guys can see that's on Netflix. Power of the Dog, and this would be the second.
No,
we had two movies.
What about?
We had. I still got
go
more.
ahead. Okay.
So we got two movies with Benedict Cumberbatch is in two of the movies this week, and this was one of them. Which this looked very interesting. It was in the Wild West, and from the trailer, you really can't make out what the movie is even about. I mean,
read the synopsis.
Yeah. Charismatic rancher Phil Burbank inspires fear and awe in all those around him when his brother brings home a new wife and her son. Phil torments them until he finds himself exposed to the possibility of love. So, yeah, I watched the trailer and go ahead.
Couldn't take much away from it.
Yeah, it didn't have a.
I watched it. If you're into westerns, or if you're a person that liked that, what was that movie there that Gyllenhaal did with the other guy there? Brokeback. Yeah, if you're into Brokeback and into westerns, then this is the movie for you to watch. It takes a weird turn.
Sounds like it if we're talking about Brokeback Mountain, because you know me, I ain't got one thought on that movie. Okay, moving on. The Guilty, which is basically Jake Gyllenhaal, and he is assigned. He's a call dispatch where 911 calls come in, and basically he gets a call from a girl that's been abducted, and he's trying to track down where she's at, and her abductor is right there. So the movie seems to be trying to track her down and to find out where she is in town. There's a big wildfire going on. It looked like it was like in LA or something like that. Didn't it look like it?
I think it was. I think it was LA.
So The Guilty, it looked definitely an action-packed movie,
like a phone booth type movie, because it's like it just looks like it's all focused on where in the room he's in.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
The Murderarian? How do you say that? Because he's from his country.
It's Mauritanian. Mauritanian.
Yeah, Mauritanian. Basically, a story about a guy that was stuck in Guantanamo Bay by the U.S. government. He was supposed to be the mastermind of pulling together the team of people that pulled off 9/11, the hijackings. He was supposedly the mastermind that pulled them all together. And basically, this is based on the true story of him actually being tried, and he was having to give in a lawyer, and Jodie Foster's in this. And this is wasn't this the one? Wasn't it Cumberbatch in this one?
And Shailene Woodley.
Yep, Shailene Woodley. That looked interesting. Again, trying to pull back in what was going on in Guantanamo Bay, and so
it did.
What was it? Go ahead.
But what was off-putting for me though is like I just didn't like the Benedict Cumberbatch's accent.
Yeah, I didn't like Jodie Foster's hair.
I mean, I don't know what. Obviously, I don't know what area of America he was trying to be from, but like his accent, just something about it just wasn't. It didn't seem right.
Yeah.
I don't always listen to the accents too much.
Yeah.
I know you guys.
For me, so
right. You guys hear all that. I just don't pay attention, because I guess it's because I hear so many different accents here in the States that I'm in a melting pot. I'm in New York. You know what I mean? I hear so many different accents. It just doesn't register with me for some reason.
I want to say one of the guys I worked with, he saw this. This came out a while back ago, if I'm not mistaken. Because I want to say that one of my coworkers watched this, and he said this was good. Yeah. So again, it's 7.5, but we have and when you talk about accents, I've been watching Ted Lasso the last few days, today, and his accent is like, it's terrible. It's supposed to be Texas accent. It is so bad, but Well, whatever. So we got this movie. You got The Guilty, Power of the Dog, Skater Girl, My Son. What was it?
Malignant.
Malignant. I don't know why I can't say that word. Kate and Blood Brothers are our options for this week. If you would please go ahead and vote for that before the end of the show. Do that ASAP because right now it was a tie. We have a tie between two movies. So
all the trailers are in the. Yes. If you need to watch them.
Yeah, and you shouldn't be watching the trailer now because we're having our live show. We're getting ready to go in about the Protege.
Mm-hmm.
So Protege. So we got the Protege, and if you've watched the show before, what we do is we will talk about this movie in a roundtable type situation. We'll talk about it for maybe about 15-ish minutes or something like that. Then I will throw the link out, and any of the other people, any of you guys that are watching can jump in and give us your thoughts on it. And I will grab comments and post those. I will post comments just like I do here with James, putting it in there so we can, if you have comments as we go along, I will do my best to throw it in here. So you look at Jim. Jim's already ahead of the game. Jim is already on it. So good. Then Jim, he already done said there's 2 movies that he doesn't want to watch. So, So, all right. So we've got that. So let's go ahead and jump into Protege, a movie pretty full of action. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, it's at least better than Jerry Curls.
Oh, 100% better because it's one of those movies where you know exactly what you're getting. Yeah, and you've seen it all before. Mm-hmm. But no, honestly, we've seen this kind of movie a million times before. However, it still hits pretty good because the action scenes in this are so good. I know everybody compares everything to John Wick these days. But that style of like cinematography and choreography that they're doing these days in these type of action movies are played off really well. And plus, Maggie Q is like good at that type of thing. Anyway, I saw her in the Die Hard movie that she was in. What was it, Die Hard 4.0? She's in that a little bit, and she's like ninja chick in that. But like she's so good in this, like action wise, and like I don't know if it was just a trait of what her character was, but she's so stone faced. It's like a very emotionless person, which I guess kind of like makes sense for what she went through as a youngster, like a kid. I think. Obviously, with this kind of film, and especially this one, there's like quite a lot of plot holes you could pick if you wanted to pick away at the story. The story wasn't fantastic, but it was like it's something that you've seen. It's a very generic, like standard action movie story, but it's saved by one. The acting was really good. Like Michael Keaton was great. Maggie Q was great. Even like obviously, I mean, Samuel L. Jackson was Samuel L. Jackson. The action was fantastic. I stopped for a second to go because when it got to the scene where she makes the cakes for Samuel L. Jackson's birthday and like saying it's his 70th birthday, I was like, wait a minute, he's playing a 70-year-old, and then I actually go to Google how old he was, and he's actually 72, and I didn't even realize it.
Black don't crack. Albin's 102. What are you talking about?
To be fair, Michael Keaton looked good.
He did. Michael Keaton looked. He actually, and he did well, that ain't Michael Keaton. I was thinking that was Michael Keaton's picture. Michael Keaton did a really good job. I thought Michael Keaton's character I thought he did a really good job in his. You could tell he was playing that character where he was trained assassin protector, but he also had that little bit of he knew what was right or wrong kind of thing. Like, I am working for an asshole.
I didn't feel the same, believe it or not, about and I love Michael Keaton. I just, I guess seeing him with Maggie Q, it just didn't. I just didn't feel a connection between the two. I felt it was forced, and I love Michael Keaton. I think he's a great actor, but I just didn't feel the connect between him and Maggie Q. I don't know who they could have put in there. I guess they could have put anyone in there, but
I think
I
they could have
I
kept
don't
him
think they
in.
needed him for that star power. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
think. I mean, I don't really think they needed like the love connection between the two of them. They could have
Right.
had that not in and just like still
Right.
good.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that they also played into that chemistry of the two, and it was like, because he could have killed her, or they could have killed each other numerous
Right.
times, like,
Right.
and they didn't because of this weird chemistry. And I think that they tried to play into that they had this little chemistry between them. It
Yeah,
just happened.
they both
They
had like a
just saw
similar.
something in each other. Yeah, similar type people. It's like, and then
But
like when they're fighting, and then they're like, all right, are we gonna fuck or kill each
it's
other?
like right. But I felt they needed someone more like, you remember in the what was that the one with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover? What were those movies? There, the
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapons. Who was it that played against Mel Gibson, the female? That they were like, they were so alike that you knew they were going to end up together. What is her
I know what you
name?
mean, but I can't remember her name.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't remember her name. But I felt that they needed something like that. If they did that, this would have been great, because then it would have been a chance to say, okay, well, even if he were able to live at the end of it, you'd have something for a part two. But the way they did it was great, because Sam Jackson was able to take him out.
Yeah, Jim says it's Rene Russo.
Yeah, Rene Russo. That was like perfect. They were like a perfect match together. To spend that time in bed and be like, oh, I got this shot here. Oh, check this out. I got this scar from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To show what they enjoy doing in life.
Yeah.
It sounds like the scene from Jaws. When they're like showing each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like when they're out on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, look what I got here. I'll show you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But in all, I mean, the movie. I think, Andrew, you said it right. I mean, the movie is you get what you get. You knew what you were getting when you signed up for this. It was an action. Turn your head off and just action, and of course unbelievable, because I mean she's shot and stabbed and this and that, and she's able to keep plugging along. I'm thinking, I get a paper cut sometimes, or cut myself at work, and I'm almost out. Like, hey, you tap me, I can't do that. You see this cut that I got going on? So
I swear there was one point where she got it was when Sam Jackson came back from the dead. Which I'll get onto that bit in a minute, because there's something about that I didn't like. But it's like she got shot and then he fixes her up, and then like in the next scene or whatever, she kind of gets shot in exactly the same place. And like, she's like a beast.
Wow.
Just kept going.
And it's only one scar.
Yeah.
I mean, and I thought that I liked the twist at the end. I liked the twist about the blowing up thing. I did like that twist where because Samuel asks her, what's the plan? And when you're trying to think of, because she was walking around in that party, and you're like, this can't be it. And basically, the bad guy goes down into his bunker, and Samuel L. Jackson is there, or is able to get inside. He's there and blows up the bunker with the guy in it, because he was dying anyways. So, and when he says, this was a pretty bad plan or something like that, Michael Keaton says to her, and she goes, no, this wasn't the plan. This plan, or this was supposed to happen like this. Oh, when they're out in that out in that flower garden or something. And he says it's pretty poor planning or something. She goes, no, it really wasn't. I wasn't supposed to be there. And then it blows up. I was like, all right. That's a neat little way he did it. And so I don't know. I thought it was okay. I can't say it was great.
Definitely.
It was.
You like action. If you like action movies, you'll probably like it, because action was good.
Yeah.
It wasn't boring. Like, the storyline wasn't boring. It was just something you'd seen before.
Yeah. And she's pretty to look at.
Yeah, I was gonna say she drew me in, for the movie. You know what I mean? Because her acting, I felt was a lot better than a lot of the other shows she's done. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when she does some shows, it's just like, she can end up passing by and you wouldn't even notice her. But since she had such a main role in this, I felt that, hey, she captured my attention. Not because of what she was wearing or anything like that, but but knowing what she was playing, kept me intrigued.
Yeah.
And wanting to see what I know the movie was predictable, but it was easy to follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
didn't have to, try to think about what happened. In her life. You know what I mean? Why she's like this. You didn't have to try to figure it out.
Even in like the bits at the beginning of it's like a bit slow for you to get the gist of what's going on. At the end, it's wrapped up nicely. You kind of you just need the end part to figure out what happened at the beginning. But there is some I don't like action movies where the story is too it's too much there's too much going on and you're like you're trying to figure out who all these people are and what's going on with this person, what's happening with this, and then what's this part. Like when it's just a nice, simple, put together story, and the story was kind of like second to the action.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It was probably successful in like not being a shit action movie because the action was great and the acting was great. So.
Yeah, and they killed off. You think about it. You talk about not having too many characters. I mean, a lot of the characters died pretty quick.
Yeah.
What was that? That one guy that guy that was untouchable or whatever. When she gets to his office, and she's questioning him, and then that his accountant or whatever goes over and blows his head off. It's like, well, that was enough of him.
Okay.
We got about 3 minutes of him in this movie, and he's done.
Yep.
So it was an interesting. Held my attention enough. Again, not great, but I would say, it's worth watching. If you're looking for an action film, and definitely worth a watch and for looking for a bunch of shoot 'em ups. Let me see if anybody else here had some. Eddie said great soundtrack there, or the great soundtrack at the beginning, and there was some good music there at the end, but it doesn't nothing. Sticks in my head so it didn't hold through like some movies. The soundtrack is good every movie or every song.
Yeah, but I think like kind of maybe he just means like the way that the music complemented like the action scenes. It's pretty good. So,
yeah. So I liked it. Let me go ahead and throw the link out here to the guys and gals, whoever wants to join. Company, and what the number one rule if you're going to join the panel on the live chat, have watched the freaking movie. That's it. That's the only rule we got is that you have to have watched the movie. You can't come on here and say, "Oh, I didn't watch the movie." Well, then just watch from the side. Don't come into the chat to tell us that you didn't watch the movie. So, So I sent the link over here to join StreamYard. It's easy to do it. You can turn your camera off. You don't have to have that on if you don't want to. But, we'll check this out. So hopefully people are voting for next week's movie.
Yeah.
Definitely there's a couple movies in there worth watching.
Yeah. So. I like I said, I watched them all. And there was some real, it was a week where I was gonna put out there, okay, well, you can vote for this movie, and then if you want to do an extra credit movie that we could talk about afterwards, to put it up there and have a second, because there were too many good ones, and that's why I keep stressing to everyone to go ahead and watch more than one, because there might be some, just because you voted for something and it didn't get chosen. Watch it. You know what I mean? It might be something that you like, and the only way other people are gonna know is if you go out there and say, "Hey, that was a really good movie." You know what I mean? Because there are too many movies that I have listed to put up, and I'm only putting up 8 at a time. So I don't want to go and put up 10 movies at a clip and it just makes it harder for you to make a choice.
Yep.
And then
Right.
more movies are gonna just filter out, and you're not gonna see them. And I don't want to hear 2 months later, why the hell didn't you put that movie up? And I'm like, well, we did. No one voted for it.
Yeah.
And it could have been a great movie.
I think I don't know if the Beach is ever going to get over his trauma of Jerry Curls.
No,
he was traumatized. I mean,
he is.
He was. It is done him harm. I think the PSTD. So all right, Roger, Eddie, the Beach. Thank you guys for joining us. What's you guys' thoughts on Protege? Go ahead and. So what's your thoughts?
It was okay. The action was good. The acting was good. Cinematography was good. The script was horrible. I mean, there was nothing that happened in that movie that we haven't seen in 2 or 3 other movies in the same genre. Maggie Q is absolutely gorgeous. I'd probably watch her in paint drying.
The paint drying on her?
Oh, sure, that'd be even better.
I just wanted to make sure you had it right.
I enjoyed Michael Keaton as the bad guy. He's got good acting chops. It's just so much plot super glue throughout.
Yeah,
it's always a pet peeve of mine. But I would rate it, a good 2.5, 3 stars, and watch it if you like action movies.
Yeah.
It's action movies are one of my least favorite.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
No, really, I'm shocked.
No, he doesn't ever like the action.
No, it's just not my deal. There's just guns only hold a certain amount of freaking bullets.
Yeah.
For starters,
Yes.
And if you jump off a 5th-story balcony hanging onto a fire hose by one hand, you're gonna hit the goddamn floor. So.
Oh, you mean you can't hold on with one hand, holding your weight as you fall 5 stories?
Well, I guess the little bitty Asian girls can, but I don't know.
So you're gonna get your YouTube blocked like Auburn.
I know, right? Yeah. So what's your favorite genre, anyhow?
God, I like comic book movies. I like comedies, and I voted for the Western, I believe, this week. Yeah, I would prefer watching that over another 120-pound chick that's going to kick every guy's teeth out.
Yeah. Good. Eddie, what was your thoughts on Protege?
Okay, I found it at the beginning very slow getting into it. The finally when she comes in with it gives him his present, and he opens it up, and it's the Gibson Flying V, and then he starts playing a little bit of blues on it. It started to wake me up a little bit. And and I liked it. It's an action movie. I'm not too much in an action movie, but I like this one. And what I liked about it is at the end when I think she was fighting with Michael Keaton, and she hits her sound system, and the sound system comes out, and they're beating the shit out of each other, and the music is going real cool. That was good. There's one. I think it was Andrew was talking about how Michael Keaton. They thought he was dead, and he came back, and he showed him how, he said, it was another guy that was in the bathtub, so he's going to...
Samuel Jackson.
Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he said, I'll blow his face out because nobody's going to know it's me anyway, That's the reason why he came back. Because when we saw the original one, we said, well, Michael Jackson's out, Samuel L. Jackson's out of it, But when he comes back later, it's like, well... okay. Then you understand why he came back, But all in all, it's a good movie. For an action movie, it's a good movie. And I like the soundtrack. Loved it. Next.
Eddie, what's your favorite genre then?
Me, I like documentaries on music.
I think we all knew that.
Yeah. But, documentaries, real, true life documentaries, I love. Okay. Comedy movies, anything like good English comedy, I like. But these action movies, they get to a point where it's blowing your mind. Because I'm used to the old style movies that it wasn't all action. It was something was more realistic. Now today it's something extraordinary. Yeah. But for this movie, I like this movie. It was good.
Okay.
Did like the 1911 though. What about you, DeBeach?
What really would have made this movie good is, like I said in my Pop Wars, if they could have put the cast of Jerry Curls in there and had all the assassins kill every one of the freaking actors from Jerry Curls with headshots, I would have loved this movie even more than I already did. So it's one of those movies, like you said, you don't have to think, you put it on, it's just action, Yeah. And I thought Sam Jackson, Michael Keaton, Maggie, they did everybody who acted in the movie, I thought did a good job. So it was like, once again, Samuel L. Jackson playing a hitman who only kills bad people, So like I said, it could have been a prequel to the Hitman's Bodyguard, because the same premise. But it was just, after watching Jericho's than this, it could have been a fly on a pile of horse shit for 40 minutes, and I would have liked it better.
Don't you think that Jerry from Jerry Curls, she would have really kicked Maggie's butt?
Fuck yes.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
Oh.
Really?
Trust me, I'd like to see her stab her in the throat like she did the first the little Belarusian mafia guy.
Look at
and freaking knife her in the throat.
Right there.
Buck, that would be great.
Right there. Look that's how she did it. Look at her holding it with one hand, shooting with the other. The cables help. The cables help.
Yeah,
the cables are always there.
Yeah.
The cables help.
But Jerry wouldn't be able to afford cables.
Yeah,
they would have needed some reinforcement.
What do you mean cables couldn't support Jerry?
Hey, nobody's mentioned how old Robert Patrick is now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I haven't. It was interesting how they twisted that in there because now was this so to me? So this was they were in Vietnam at that time. So are all these old Vietnam guys go to Vietnam, or all these old Vietnam War guys go to Vietnam and just ride around on their motorcycles? Is that what the idea goes on?
Yeah,
some of them stayed there.
That was part of the stupid part, Todd.
No. So, there are guys that are there.
But I mean, there's like a whole motorcycle gang. Just
I know.
Around.
There are guys that are there still.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. There are guys still there. Yeah, they can't take it here in the States, and they went back. Yeah, they went back. They got their Harleys and went back.
But those guys are 75 now.
Yeah, so.
No, well, Robert Patrick isn't 75.
Well, how old is he now?
60, 62.
Is he? I thought he'd be older than that now.
He just looks old. Check
and see how old he is.
Just because he's a white guy, he can't.
I know. Just click on his name.
We don't age well.
58. He was born in 50. He was born in 58.
Oh,
so that's 6. Yeah. So that's 64, 65. Okay. Yeah, 63.
I was close.
63. Okay. So you're right.
He's 10 years younger than me.
It's for my 10 years as fool to guess her. It's a carnival.
Yeah, guess your weight. Guess your weight.
Yeah.
So I mean, so any other thoughts there at the beach? I mean, anything that you really liked about it or really hated?
I can't think of anything really. It was just it wasn't super great, but it was good enough that I didn't mind watching it.
Yeah, I didn't hate it.
I'd like the end where they at the end when it was a flashback of when she was a kid, and she they show when her family got killed and their mom got her head cut off, and she puts together that gun while that guy's getting ready to rape her. And he's over there getting the blanket and all this and that, and she puts together that gun and just mows them all down. Yeah. And I thought that part to me was one of the better parts of the movie because it was like you saw she was just stone cold, just was no emotion to it, and you could say, okay, this is where it started. Okay.
Well, it was pretty impressive that she could hold a 3-shot burst 9mm on target to me. You know that.
Yeah. And there was a lot of bullets. She went through a lot of bullets too. Because I was thinking that. I was thinking, she's got to be running out soon. But no, she kept firing. She kept firing.
Samuel L. Jackson made a movie in 2006. It's called Black Snake Moan.
Yeah.
Have you seen
that
it?
movie? Yeah, I love that movie.
Richie.
And he actually plays guitar in that music.
Yeah, I know he can play. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad to see him tear that was
Flying
it Fender?
No, it's a Flying
Gibson Flying V.
Gibson, yeah, got it tore up.
Yeah, but it's an imitation, right? It's not the real thing.
No, yeah.
It didn't belong to Albert King. No way. Oh yeah, there was another one too. When she gets a hold of the USB key, it's like a tooth.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sharp tooth.
Yeah, and she plugs it into the computer. And then she puts in the password. You know what the password was?
What?
Born Under a Bad Sign. Albert King.
The Beach.
I didn't catch that.
The Beach. What's your favorite genre?
Of movie?
Yeah.
I just like a good movie. It doesn't matter. I mean, maybe I like kind of science fiction-y type stuff, but if it's a good movie is a good movie. Like Coda, A Man Called Ove, I could watch those over again 100 times.
Okay.
So I just whatever.
No, I'm just trying to find something, that you can vote on that you like. Since
midget porn, okay? Midget porn.
Well, that's what Jerry Curls was. It was midget Jerry Curls.
No. All right. Moving on. And so you guys got a few more minutes to vote, and we're going to go through for play or pass for this particular movie. So play means you would recommend this to somebody that's looking for an action film. Pass would be that you don't want your name associated with this movie. So we're going to go through the people that are on the side chat that are not on the panel. Put play or pass, and then we'll go through the people on the panel while you guys do that.
Hey,
The Beach. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, before you go do that, Dabs, what's your favorite genre?
I love comedy. I love just silly comedy. But if I said my favorite genre, the movies that I really, really like is those heartstrung movies, the Coda, the Nebraska, the movies that take us up and down that I can relate with. And, you kind of have a feel that those are people that you can relate and where I can relate to personal experiences too. That is the type of movie I love. Those up and down where the people actually have to really act.
Right. Right.
So that's for me. What about you, Abin?
Me, it's crime. I love a good crime flick, whether it be real life crime or the gangster type of crime movies. That's what
there you go. Make sure that Prince of Newark is on the list there, October 9th.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I do like the gangster genre as well, Hobbit.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it.
And
what about?
I like a lot of different types. I like kind of what you were saying there, Todd. I like them kind of movies, but probably if I had to pick one genre, it probably would be thrillers. I like a really good thriller that's like got a nice twist to it, like you don't see coming.
Okay.
It's hard to find these days, actually.
You mean like the big thriller twist in
The Crying Game?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one that I watched recently that I thought was quite good. I'm sure there's been a few on this show that we've watched. I kind of think now we watch so many movies.
Yeah, we do see.
Really, you haven't. Okay.
We understand you're a professional. We're just all we're you know we're
every single movie like some retired people here.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll run through the play or pass. So we'll start with the beach. Play or pass for Protege.
Give it a play.
Okay, give it a play. All right, Eddie. Play or pass for Protege.
It's a play for me.
Play. All right, Roger.
I gave it a play. It was well enough done that you could recommend it to about anybody.
Yeah, you're right. Andrew.
Yes, just like what Roger said, I would give it a play as well, because if you know somebody who likes action movies and they want to watch an action movie that they haven't seen yet, then yeah, you probably would recommend this.
True. So play or pass, Alban.
Play for me.
Play for you, and I'll give it a play also. Same thing for everybody else. You get what you pay for with this particular film, and it is, what was it, Netflix? Was that what
it was a Netflix, yes.
Netflix, okay. So a lot of people have an opportunity to watch this. So it is a Netflix, and I didn't see anybody voting over on the side chat. I know that Sharon said she wasn't able to watch it, so I saw Daldum. Well, she was here earlier, so I don't know. Maybe she might have jumped off. So if you guys jump in, you can always put play or pass for this particular movie. And so where are we for next week's movie? What are we looking at here?
Okay.
Alban?
Next week's movie. I gotta get back in. Okay. No, it's still a tie. Did everyone vote here?
I didn't see the blue vote.
No. She's not on right now.
No.
I can change my vote real quick. Break
Okay.
a tie. Hang on, let me do that.
Retract
my vote.
Mark gave that a play.
Oh shit! What was the two ties? Kate and what was the other one? My son.
Kate and my son.
Yeah.
Well, I do not want to watch another chick beat up guys, so we're gonna watch my son.
Yes.
That's Roger. That's exactly why I picked my son. And after I picked it and I saw Andrew had picked it, I went, oh shit.
Yeah. Well, and again, to me, the story itself, the movie, was not what made me want to pick. Why I chose this. I chose this when I read that James McAvoy did not know the script going into the movie, and he was having to react to the movie. So that to me is an interesting idea in how to film. I want to see how well it plays out.
Go ahead.
What if at the very end they make him a child molester and he's the one that abducted?
That's why I wanted to point out right now that I didn't choose that movie. So there's no yelling at me later. Not to say that there was a child molester thing going on.
I feel like you've given it away there.
No, I didn't. No, there's no child molestation in this movie.
But also, like I said, even if you don't like it or like it, it's a different way of filming. This is a different way of directing a movie. Mm-hmm. To me, I'm like, okay, let's see how well this idea works out. Let's see.
It was good. It's good. I got to give it to McAvoy.
I'll definitely be watching his act. Really paying attention to his acting on this too. Mm-hmm. And I wonder now.
He's a good actor.
Now, did Claire? I wonder if she knew what the. I wonder if she knew what the script.
I would have believed that she did know.
Okay. So it just seems interesting way of filming it. So rated R, so there's going to be some language and probably some violence. So just keep that in mind. So My Son is the movie we have to watch for next week, unless you're Alban and you watch all 8 movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Eddie, I got to put out there though, Eddie has been watching quite a bit too.
He's catching up with you.
He is. He is. So let's all give him his proper creds too.
Way to go, Eddie.
Oh, and can I make a request, Alban?
Yeah.
Please don't put old on the list.
No.
Please
Why
don't.
Not? Oh boy. Okay. All right.
Watch it first. Then
I'll watch it. No, I'll
watch it. Then you can decide.
I was planning. No, but it's not a. Well, I guess it's not a decision for me. You know, if I already had 7 and that was going to be the 8th already, you know, should I pull it off just because of your say so, or you know, we let people vote?
It is M. Night Shyamalan, isn't it?
Yes,
I believe it. Yes, it is.
M launch, slamadonga ding dong, yeah. And it,
you kind of know what you get with him. It's either hit or miss.
No, it's more misses than hits.
It's either I see dead people or misses.
It's like all in his movies. You're going what at the end?
I don't know. I'm gonna just say this. I kind of liked The Village.
It was okay. It was okay.
All right, so hey, on the trivia part of this movie that we're having to watch, is James was not given the script and had to improvise all of his dialogue. So that's another thing. He was no dialogue. He had to do his dialogue, improvising. All other actors knew the script and the story, and McAvoy's reaction to the other actors' revelations were genuine. This was done to capture the authentic shock and surprise a parent would experience when dealing with a traumatic event. So, yeah, I think that's, again, be it if it pulled off good or not, it's definitely
I'm not saying it's
interesting.
Bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all. Don't
right.
You know, get that twisted. I'm just saying I didn't vote for it.
Okay.
I had voted for Kate. That's just what I'm saying.
He wanted another. He's like, I didn't get enough action last week.
Well, no, because I don't want to be, you know, have a tombstone on me or, you know.
You got enough already.
Right, and being cursed out that, you know, that movie sucks. You know.
Well, I mean, Kate's not bad. Put it this way: if you like the Protege, you would like Kate.
You'd like Kate.
Yeah. Cut from the same cloth.
That's why I'm trying to get an understanding of what everybody likes, since it's really just us, you know.
Yeah.
You know, if the other people that are out in the chat wanted to start popping up there, you know, the stuff that they like, or even to, you know, message me of, okay, you know, either I like this type of genre of show, or this was a good movie, because this week's movies, a lot of them came from Blue, and one came from my son came from was it Doldum, or who was it from?
James was talking about
James
the other week.
Right, it was James, and we have him to thank for that one.
The thing is, though, it's not really. I was under the impression that this show was not just about picking movies from genres that everybody likes. It was just but watch something that you would never watch before.
Right, but you know, if no one really liked horror, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna put 4 horror movies up and 2 of something else. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, you know, make everyone happy with, you know, what's out there, because I have a lot of movies to put up.
We just had a horror movie last week. Freaking Jerry Curl. Give me nightmares.
There's a time and a place for horror movies, and that time is October 30th.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think the beach is just worried that Jerry is coming over to his house. And you know, she has him trapped in bed and takes his chair away.
Yeah,
from him.
she's gonna be his new nurse.
Yeah, his new nurse.
The only thing I got going is she said she didn't like dick, so that leaves me out.
She didn't like it here. She didn't like it there.
No, it ain't going there. It ain't going there. It ain't going there.
I'm telling you what, you guys watch that freaking movie again and forget about the acting. Just listen to the writing. It's got some freaking comedy in there.
And we're still talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's a funny line.
You're talking about it because it's funny. I'm talking about it because it fucking gave me PTSD. So.
Yeah, Jim is right. The new Halloween will be coming out middle of October, so we will. That's going to be coming out. We got Dune that's coming out.
Yeah, that's out.
It's out, but it's out.
A bad copy.
Okay, how about this? I don't know when Halloween falls on, but what we could do, if there aren't any horrors out, we could have put a poll together of what we think are the best scary or thriller horror type movies. Vote on that for Halloween.
Okay.
It's just a thought. Halloween's
Or
on is on a Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. Here for Sunday, we're gonna talk about horror movies.
Yeah. No, but on the Wednesday.
Well, we can. No, we can't. We will not be doing a show on the 20th or the 27th because I'll be moving.
Yeah.
So October 20th and 27th, we will not be doing any shows.
Well, we'll just let Auburn run it.
Yeah, sure. I'll give you my credits. You can jump right in there.
No, I don't want you to get all the way to Canada and then you're gonna be, oh my God, because
why is my channel banned?
Right? Why is my channel banned? Because I'm dealing with women. No, I won't be the cause of that. Not at all.
We can link it to
if anything, I could do it. I could do it to in Telegram. I wouldn't mind. I think we'll do something on Telegram while you're away.
Yeah, we can do
that. We're gonna miss you, and we'll be online so you could turn on if you're traveling. You can
check us
out.
Well, Wednesday night we should be in a hotel, but during the day Wednesday we'll be driving, so and jamming to some music. So got that planned out. So that's what we got going on. So for you guys, we're gonna go ahead and roll out of here. And anybody, let's go ahead. I'll start at the bottom right. Roger, anything you want to say before we go?
Well, thanks for the invite. It was a movie this week.
Eddie. That's it.
This is a good movie. This is getting back up on the list. So we're getting into some good stuff here. Like I said, the idea of, you're asking people what they like is good. In other words, we can put like different genres into, let's say, your mix of eight movies. I'm not saying that all your movies they're bad, but I'm just with an idea of what people like, then you can get a better pick.
Yeah.
Not saying they're bad, he's just saying they're not very great.
Hey, in his defense, he can only pick from what's available.
Yeah.
There's not great 5-star movies coming out every week.
Right.
This week I thought had 4 good movies to watch this week. I would have watched except for that Kate movie.
But you guys got to remember. You remember the days of Blockbuster of getting a tape. Forget about DVDs. Getting a tape and getting all the way home, and then having to start watching something, and it's crap. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Think back to those days.
And most of my in-laws, they would be like, "Oh, this is a great movie," and I'd be like, "No, this movie sucks." Like, "No, this is great," because they were B movie fans. The B-rated movie, they loved it. I mean, and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this is terrible." So, all right, to Beach. Anything you want to say before we go?
See y'all next week.
All right, thank you. What about you, Mr. Andrew?
No, just obviously thanks for tuning in again, and I look forward to watching this movie. It should be interesting. And goodbye.
Hey, Alban, what's up?
I want to thank everyone. Roger, I'm really happy that you're back. You must have been losing your mind with being up in the middle of the sticks, trying to get access to us. But I'm really thankful that you did. You were able to still watch us out there. You know what I mean? That means a lot to me, really.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
I really do gotta say, you're dedicated, and I love it.
Dedicated. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No more cellular data for me. I'm back. I'm back to broadband.
Hey, he was like this. He was like, "Shut up, kids! My pop is on. It's time for me to get on my pop show." So.
And thanks for everyone coming out. Like I said to everyone else on the side, I can't even see everyone on the side. I'm sorry that I can't even message you guys back. So hello to everyone, and hit me up in Telegram if there's even if there was a genre that we never hit, I'll find something for us. You know what I mean? And we'll give everyone a choice to choose it. And if you really like the movie, start yelling at everyone and say, "Hey, I like this type of movie," or I think that you should watch it, because I say it all the time. You got to watch more than one movie to be able to find what's good, not just by everyone saying this is what we chose for the week, but there's still 7 other movies over there that we never watched.
And if you watch things that's out of your normal wheelhouse, sometimes you learn stuff. I mean, that was one thing about, like Andrew was talking about with this show. You have to watch the other stuff that you wouldn't normally watch, but you watch it and you start to analyze the movie. I mean, all of us start looking at scripts. We're looking at writing. We're looking at cinematography, the sets. Because of some of the people that's been on the show, and they talk about, well, they did a real good job with cinematography or the set design or the wardrobe. So now I'm looking at that stuff more because of this. So
what I love is when I watch a movie and I see new people that are coming up and acting, and then I start seeing them in other stuff, and then I know who to look out for. You know what I mean? That makes me really happy when especially some of these young kids that I see in stuff. Some of them are really good actors. When you see a child actor that's really good, you say this kid is good, and you end up loving them and keep watching them. It's like an Abigail Spencer, or or what's that other one there? The one that grew
Dakota Fanning.
Dakota Fanning, thank you. Or what's that other one there? The
Charles, you got to turn your YouTube up.
Dakota Fanning.
Dakota Fanning.
Up there we go. All right, so hey, we're gonna run out of here, and we'll do the after show. Some of us can just chit chat. Hey, I will say one tidbit on the way out the door. Up there. All right, we're gonna run out of here, and we'll do the after. Your YouTube, YouTube is on YouTube. Charles, turn off your YouTube because we can hear it. Because I can hear it like 4 seconds after I say something. Watch. Mayor.
Charles. Mute him again. Yeah.
All right. So,
some friend you are.
I have to put him backstage. I keep hearing him. I keep hearing myself. Mayor of Easttown, the TV show.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Holy smokes!
But I told you to watch that. I told you to watch it.
Watch it.
I know.
Watch it. People watch that. Kate Winslet. That show is good. That show is really good. So, all right. So we're out of here. So thanks for joining in, and we'll see you guys Friday, right? For Player Pass and for adios.